I have no idea what is going on with OBS. All right, that's fine
Hey
for
man,
there. That's fine. That is
get get some sleep, buddy.
yeah. I guess I'm
Try to
sleep.
get some sleep.
Yeah, try to. Yeah. Okay, I'll try. All right. Thanks for hanging out. So as I was saying, our schedule looking for E3 this year. Let's see. So Saturday we have one. Sunday we have three. So we got time between Xbox and with Bethesda, like a 5 hour gap. Okay. Digital Devolver, I don't think we need to cover per se. I mean, I'll watch, but I don't think it's like it's gonna be for funsies.
I think it'll be good to do a live reaction to that one though, just because
It's true. Yeah.
it's gonna be so fun. Like it would be really really funny though if this year they just did a regular conference, like nothing weird about it, nothing strange. Oh my god, I fucking adore that.
Nice. So Square Enix on Monday. Ooh, wow. We got an hour gap between Square Enix and Ubisoft. Um, PC gaming show we don't have to worry about. And we got about a 5 hour gap between Ubisoft and Sony PlayStation. Okay, so the times are more spaced out, so it isn't too bad. Um, so it's looking like yeah, it's gonna be it should be fine, or it should be pretty okay. Because I remember last year or 2 years ago when we did it, like it was just like the schedules were like a half hour or an hour apart from one another. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was. Sorry about all that noise. It was rough because we didn't have enough time to do a show between.
Yeah,
So
it was kind of nuts. All right, I need to go back to them real quick, but yeah, after I get back, let's get into some Deadpool.
Diet Mountain Dew does the body good. Oh gosh, gorsh. I guess Anthony had to take a shit or something. Oh gosh.
There we go. I'm back.
Did you have to take a poop?
No, I went to the bathroom and I got some chips. So it's a little snack food. Okay. So as I fix my cam yet again, I think no, cam's good actually. Yeah, that was good. All right, cool. Okay. So, are you ready to talk about some Deadpool?
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right, okay. I'll take it. I will take it.
Do you want me to scream in your ear? Fuck yes, let's go. Nobody's in the chat, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. All right. So, for those watching the video, this is your last warning before we get into some spoiler talk about Deadpool 2. The minute I put down this belt buckle of Deadpool is when we begin our talk. And all right. So, it was more Deadpool and I enjoyed it. It's funny too because the way that the movies have been, like, it's been, first it was a love story, second it's a family story, with the sequel. I'm guessing the third one's going to be a kid story, I guess.
I don't think so. I think it was just a lot of it. I guarantee you, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they know that they can't just make a superhero movie. Like they have to go the route of making it like likable by a large audience.
True.
So I think that's why they were like, this is a family movie, because it needed a story. Because that's the thing about Deadpool, like he can be in amazing stories, but he's surrounded by other characters that make it also really cool. So I think that's where I like Deadpool. That's why I don't think I liked the game very much.
Well, yeah, game I heard was not great. So
it's a little too fourth wall breaky, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that was my biggest problem with it, but yeah, man, I really fucking enjoyed this movie. I thought it was super fun, super funny.
Yep.
A lot of the references, like I adored.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like the references were necessarily like out of place or just there for the sake of a joke. Like it made sense to the context in which he was saying them. Like, granted, I know a lot of them are not necessarily, like, they're going to go over a lot of people's heads. Like, for example, did you catch the Rob Liefeld joke?
Yeah, I did. That was great.
Like, people who don't know who that is aren't going to catch that joke.
Yeah, there was some great stuff there. The thing about the movie, I it was more the same, like I said, of Deadpool, and it was great. I felt like at times it was a little slow. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, just a little bit. Like there was definitely times where like I'm watching a movie and like I'm like either getting bored or I'm like just wondering when's the next kind of funny moment. Like I feel because like at the end of the day, like I was kind of, at least for me myself, like the action was great, but I feel like I was wanting more of the comedy than the action. Um, but
You're saying that the comedy was slower?
no. I feel like when I was watching it that I was leaning more towards I wanting more of the comedy than the action, which is interesting to say. Um, but it was kind of how I'm not sure why I felt that way, but that's kind of the feeling I was getting. But aside from that, regardless, the most of the movie was great. I really enjoyed it. Like the bit where Deadpool was where his like lower half has been cut off because it was split.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say cut off,
Well,
but
okay, well,
yes.
yeah, torn apart from Juggernaut, and like he's sitting on the couch and he's having this whole conversation with the rest of the crew and Cable, and he's just and his legs are just like a baby's like legs, and he's like just embellishing in it. It was great.
Yeah,
That
the
bit
whole
was really
like.
good.
Well, what's really funny to me is that I've been hearing a lot of reviews about the movie, and a lot of the reviews I keep hearing are in regards to uh like that the comedy seemed very Big Bang Theory esque,
Hmm. Hmm.
which I don't agree. But I don't agree because it was like it was just reference city, and I don't
Hmm.
feel that the references were out of place.
Yeah.
I felt like whenever Deadpool or another character made a reference to something, it made sense.
Yeah.
Um,
It was definitely in the realm of that universe. So it you know, and not to mention
well,
that
not even just that universe. Like in different situations, Deadpool would call Cable by a different name,
yeah.
but was a role that Josh Brolin had played before.
Yes. Yes. Not to mention the fact that Deadpool himself is a character that breaks the fourth wall consistently, so he can get away with that. So
Yeah, I mean, arguably, I like when he breaks the fourth wall, but he does like he shouldn't break it as often as he did in that fucking game. Um, that drove me fucking banana sandwiches.
mm,
Uh, but in this, he didn't break it that often. And making a reference isn't breaking the fourth wall. Making a reference is quite literally just making a reference.
right, yeah,
Um, but like there are things in the movie that like when it gets overly dramatic, it's 100% intentional. In the regards that like it's making fun of other superhero movies doing the same thing.
yeah.
Hey, what's up, motorcycle? How's it going? Uh, when like the ambiguous, not ambiguous, but the unnecessarily large action sequence of superheroes getting ready to do a superhero thing and then it failing miserably is the antithesis of why Deadpool was making fun of that whole thing. So what I'm getting at, Anthony, is the whole thing with X Force jumping out of the plane and it failing.
Yeah.
That was a more in your face kind of joke reference to the fact that A, the X Force kind of sucks. Like the comic books kind of suck. B, like Shatterstar is a terrible character. The Vomit Dude, terrible character.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that they die that way is so fucking funny.
It was great.
Um, but also like it was also the idea of this giant, like it was making fun of superhero movies at the same time.
Yes,
And I
agreed.
really do feel like even the sequences where Deadpool's like technically dead and talking to Vanessa, it's in a sense making fun of that whole aspect,
Yeah,
but still telling a fun story.
yeah.
Um, uh, I kind of feel like the fight with Juggernaut and Colossus, for example,
Yeah.
really really cool. Like Deadpool even sets it up with like, get ready for the badass CGI fight.
Yeah.
But the part that I thought was kind of like, it was funny to me, but it was also very much like sophomoric in its execution was Cable shoving like, sorry, was Colossus shoving that severed cable up Juggernaut's ass.
Yeah, that was great.
It was really funny. I really enjoyed it, but it was also very like, that was very sophomoric, and I really do feel like the movie tried to go for like a high jokes per minute sort of thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm going all over the place here, but the idea that the idea that I'm getting at is, um, if you loved the first Deadpool, you're gonna love this one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've
Yeah,
heard a lot of people who disliked the first one and loved this one, so it's, I don't know, but
interesting.
yeah, there was somebody on Twitter that was like, I hated Deadpool 1, hated his all caps.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but he goes, I really like Deadpool 2. I was like, interesting. That's very strange to me.
One of the characters I actually grew to like more in this movie was Dynamo. She was great. I loved her.
Here's the thing. First off, Domino was one of the few characters that Rob Liefeld created that is actually like still around and really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they did her absolutely great justice in this movie. Even though this is not her first appearance in a film, I want to say.
The character or the actor?
The character.
Oh.
Well, the actress is from. She's in. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on the name of that movie. The show Atlanta. She's in the show Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
But let's see. Marvel's Domino.
If she was in another Marvel film, it has to be within, I guess, the Fox universe. Yeah, at some point.
I think so.
Yeah, has to be.
I feel like I've seen her in something else before, and she was played. Oh gosh, give me a minute here.
Right.
I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. Like, I really, really dug it. I thought the story was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It made fun of a lot of tropes and what's the other word I'm looking for? Cliches. Thank you, brain. Thank you. Why am I saying thank you? Tropes and cliches that are in superhero movies. It made fun of those while also making solid reference jokes. Yeah, man. I mean, like, the opening of the movie sets the tone for the rest of the film. Like, it opens with a lot of violence, and then it has a very like pseudo emotional opening, and then it has the funniest title sequence I've ever seen in a movie.
Yes. I loved beginning the movie where like his alarm clock is Wolverine like on the rock as he was with a wooden stake coming out of his side like it was in Logan. That was great. Yeah, that definitely set the tone for sure. Alongside the fight sequences as well. So it was definitely awesome.
Maybe Domino was supposed to be played by somebody else, but son of a bitch. Like, I thought. No, this is the first time she's ever been in a movie.
All right.
The other two times that she was in anything was the X-Men cartoon. And then do you remember the cartoon Wolverine and the X-Men?
Yes.
Yeah, she was in that too.
Okay. Cool.
Wow, I thought she was in a movie. I could have sworn I'd seen her in something. But yeah, I don't think, because I think to like things that I really enjoyed and why somebody else wouldn't like it. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to run my brain through scenes in the movie, certain situations that I saw that I went, man, somebody would really, really hate that. Like, we laughed at the baby legs situation, right?
Yes. That got me good.
but you could imagine somebody hating that, right?
I mean, everybody is offended by something, so I could, yeah, sure, somebody out there would probably would not like it. I
Yeah.
haven't. It's a weird thing to say, but I mean, like, there's what we find funny may not be for somebody else. So
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. I don't expect all the jokes to land with everybody. I mean, I was
yeah,
talking to when I was talking to my buddy online last night about the movie. Um, him and I were like, because he had seen it, like, he had literally seen it 2 hours before I talked to him. Um, him and I were talking about like certain jokes and stuff, and I said, "Did you pick up on the Rob Liefeld joke?" And he says, "No." And so I told him where it was, and he was like, "Oh, I remember that." And I said, "Yeah, that's because Rob Liefeld couldn't draw feet." And he was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah,
that's a gag throughout the because Cable and Domino and all of those X Force characters were co-created by Rob Liefeld. So like killing them was a jab at Rob Liefeld. Um, the direct joke was a jab at Liefeld. So
mm-hmm.
uh, I thought that was really neat. I'm really happy that we got a proper Juggernaut. Like that makes me
That was
super fucking
cool.
happy.
Yes, Juggernaut looked awesome. And I love the fact that everything about him, like, was almost to the T, or pretty much is to the T of what he was in the comics, with the exception of his outfit. Obviously, is much different. He just came from a prison, so obviously he's going to be wearing that outfit and not his like normal attire that people know him for a while. I love the fact that he actually there's a reference of he made about his about Xavier.
Right, right. I was gonna mention that. I
Yeah,
thought that was really really cool.
yeah. I was like, oh, that's fucking sick. Um,
Well, it's really funny. My buddy did point out something that I thought was really, but it doesn't matter. Like it's not important in any way, shape, or form.
mm-hmm.
But how did that maximum security prison keep somebody like Juggernaut in there when the inhibitor wouldn't have worked on him?
That is a good point. Yeah, it's a very very good point. Also, when that was being introduced in the film, like I was I was kind of like just like in awe because it's like, oh fuck, they're doing that storyline in this film. It's awesome. Um, and they like roughly did it. They didn't completely with the full in on it, but they roughly took the idea from that storyline into this movie.
I was legitimately like I was curious how they were going to handle Cable, because I always thought that Cable's way of coming to our time was so weird and bizarre and wouldn't work in a movie. But they just did it. They just went for it. They were like, "Fuck it, he's from the future. His family was killed. That's why he's here. He uses a time device. Let's go." And I was just like, "Okay, I'm in." Like,
Yeah,
awesome. Like,
yeah,
I didn't think you guys were going to be able to pull that shit off, but here we are.
yep,
So, um, kudos to them for that. Like, that's a big thing. I'll also say this, Anthony. That's something that I think is important. Like, it's not just the amount of jokes; it was the jokes that they got away with.
yeah, yeah,
Like the Frozen joke, holy shit! I'm so
yeah.
like I know that there was one Disney joke they were not allowed to use that Ryan Reynolds really wanted in the movie.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Uh,
I wouldn't doubt it.
but the fact they got away with the Frozen one, I was like, oh my god, you just fucking took a hard dig at like one of Disney's biggest franchises right now.
Yep.
Like that's impressive and ballsy.
Nobody was unsafe. Took a jab at Disney. Took a jab at DC. Took a jab at
Well,
Marvel.
absolutely. Like I knew that
Oh shit.
taking jabs at Marvel and DC was totally just going to be a thing they could do.
Yeah.
I didn't think Disney would be okay with that one, but that's. I would love to watch like a deleted scenes situation where, because I know that Ryan Reynolds talked about in an interview, I don't remember with who, that they wrote like 10 jokes per situation,
Mm.
and they just they were like, all right, let's use this one, and they just went with it.
Yeah.
I want to see a deleted scene situation where there's different jokes, like alternate lines.
Yeah. I would agree. I would like to see some behind the scenes stuff too as well. Like I want to see like what other stuff they wanted to put in but couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. It was great. There's a lot of good jokes, a lot of good stuff in the film. Um,
I watched a spoiler interview with Ryan Reynolds about the movie,
hmm.
and the guy was like, "So where did the character Peter come from?" And he was like, "Well, we were choosing all of these characters from X-Force comics, and we were trying to figure out which characters we wanted to use, and we just had this idea, like, what if there was a guy who joins the team who just lost his job at a copy company and he's nothing special, and that's how Peter was born." And the guy goes, "Well, why did you guys come up with the idea to kill off the X-Force except for Domino?" And he says, "Oh, because we just thought it'd be funny to get rid of them immediately." I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, no, it was fucking hilarious. I was not expecting it.
Yeah, that was great.
Like, I thought the second that Bedlam hit the bus, I thought for sure he was going to be okay.
Yeah, I thought so too. But no.
And then Shatterstar hits the fucking propellers of that helicopter,
Mm-hmm.
and then the spitty acid dude hits the. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Who? So I didn't really look into it, but like the Vanisher, who was the actor?
Brad Pitt.
Okay. I was like trying to figure it out because I saw. I was like, he looks familiar. Oh fuck, that's hilarious.
And apparently he agreed to do that for like coffee. Like, he didn't get paid for
No
that.
way, really?
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it's not great they didn't get paid for it, but it's cool that he still wanted to do it.
Yeah. Super fucking funny.
Wow.
Well, that's another thing about this movie that I think is important, that I know a lot of people aren't going to like, is the idea that sorry, it's the idea that god damn it, my thought left me. Son of a bitch. Oh, how gory it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they use the hell out of that R rating.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
And a lot of the comedy comes from that dark humor, that like, ha ha ha, he just got ripped in half and we're looking at his guts, like that kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
There's actually a couple times where I'm really surprised they didn't go with it. Like, my buddy was like, "Why didn't they have the Juggernaut say, Juggernaut bitch?" Anytime. I was like, because I feel like that's low hanging fruit.
Plus,
I really do.
Plus, that's kind of, I feel like whenever I've seen a film that I don't think they want to reference. I don't know. Like,
I don't think that matters because they already made reference to that shit.
That's true. That's true.
Like consistently.
That's true.
I just think it's way too low, easy hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Now, him saying the line from Avengers, "Hey there, big guy, the sun's getting real low," that was brilliant. That was really smart. That one had me going. Also, the music that was playing during that scene where Juggernaut and Colossus are fighting, while holy shit,
yeah, it was great. I
was laughing so
I didn't
hard.
realize it until like a second after, when I was listening to the lyrics. I was like, oh, this is great. This is
Well, because
awesome.
the fucking action is loud as hell. So
yeah. That was great. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie was just super fun. Like, it's amazing to me. Like, I was on Twitter and this guy, and people are talking about Domino, and this guy says, "Let me find it real quick because it's really fucking stupid." God damn it! Of course, Twitter, you have to like take away the moment after I've seen it. Oh, what?
What? What's up? Something happened?
The title of this article is "Deadpool 2 tops Infinity War at the box office." I hope they're talking about this weekend only.
Yeah, probably just the weekend open box.
They are talking about this weekend only. Okay.
Yeah. There's no way.
No, it did hit exactly what I thought it was going to hit, which is 125.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me scroll down. Why? I don't understand Twitter sometimes, man.
Well, that's not surprising. That's honestly not surprising. Well, while you look it up, I'm gonna.
Well, I was just reading this article. This person typed out Deadpool 2 spoilers, and then under like, wait, called another white man on his cultural appropriation, sought out and killed pedophiles and sex traffickers, openly expressed liking it up the ass / liking men, supported lesbians, and was not sexist to Domino at all.
That's true.
Well, that's been a thing with fucking Deadpool since the get.
Yeah.
He is like super fucking progressive.
Yeah.
But people don't think it is because he's just.
I mean, there was that moment when he was phrasing when he was getting into the truck, when Domino was driving, when he was saying like, "I'm in the back," or "It's in the back, it's inside you." So there was that part of phrasing wise, but yeah, he is. I mean, he is a Canadian, and he's also very progressive. So he's super progressive.
I don't know that matters that he's Canadian, but okay.
I'm because they're nice. Canadians are nice.
I understand that part. I understand where you're going with it, but I don't think it matters.
Right. I say that, and then I was like, oh wait, Wolverine's also Canadian, but he's like fucking violent as hell. So.
Right. That's why I was like, I've met some asshole Canadians. Well, seen asshole Canadians.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's domino porn. That didn't take long.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's already been out there for, I don't know how long.
That's true. You're not wrong on that.
I would be.
So somebody pointed out something I thought was very interesting. Domino in the comics as a white woman has her eye patch on her right eye, whereas Domino in this, who's a black woman, has it on her other eye.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, it's a black patch over here, but with the new Domino, it's a white patch.
That's cool. I like that.
Or beige, I guess. But.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I like it.
Oh, here it is. So this guy says, let's see, who is he? Who is he? I don't know. He has a check mark next to his name. His name is Louis. Not Louis. Sorry. Luis. Is it Luis? It's Luis. I'm forgetting how to pronounce that.
Louis?
Not Lewis. I know it's not Lewis because I have a friend who's not Lewis, and it's spelled that way. Anyway, he says Deadpool 2 was mostly fine. There's a fun superhero movie in there being ruined by the need to point everything out as jokes. The action is great, unique, and Domino is fantastic. And he tweeted that, and then like an hour later, he was like, no, sorry, he tweeted that at 7 a.m. And then at 4 hours ago, he tweeted, laughing at everyone assuming I don't know that pointing everything out is what Deadpool is about. My point is that the action and the tone can work, R-rated comedy mixed with more intimate set pieces, but the movie wants to throw a billion jokes at you that fall flat about 40%. I disagree with him.
Right. Because again, like not everybody's gonna get the joke, but when it hits, it hits.
Well, my argument is I've seen that. I've seen that argument a few times. Like people not realizing that that's fucking what Deadpool is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that confuses me.
Well,
who's seeing this movie? Who was seeing this movie, and not knowing that?
People who had A, who've not seen the previous one, and B, does not know the lore of Deadpool.
Why?
Because they're not comic book people.
No. The first part. Why?
Oh, of them not seeing the first film and just seeing this one? Because Marvel movies are always good, presume, and they're like, oh, this is another superhero movie. Guess I'll go watch it, and it'll be fun times like the previous ones, except for Infinity War.
That is the silliest idea I've ever heard. Any sequel, Anthony. What's the first question you hear when God of War came out? Do I have to have played the previous one? That's an immediate knee-jerk reaction to hearing, oh, there's a sequel to a thing. Should I experience the other ones first? So why would someone do that with a movie without asking that question?
I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's just weird.
They're out there.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's weird,
but it's hard for me to take their opinion, other than like they just didn't understand that that's what they were getting.
Yeah, for sure. As one person would say, as the what's her name Naboo would say, I can't hear you. I take that pity dick out of your mouth. Oh man, there was a lot of good. There was a lot of good stuff in the film. Um, the the
Oh, pardon me.
the dubstep for pussies one was great. Like, and every time they would mention that, like, the dubstep would hop on, it's just like, oh, that's hilarious. Like, I didn't mind it when they did it twice. If they would have done it a third time, I'd have been like, okay, it's getting a little old. But like the fact that they stopped it twice, like, all right, that's fine, yeah. But
Sure, but I mean, it worked as a callback joke and not necessarily like a two timer joke.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Jinx.
I'm trying to think of other things about this movie. I really enjoyed. I really like. Congratulations on getting away with that fucking Green Lantern joke at the end.
That was great. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. That was great. Speaking of which, like, okay, so two things at the after credits. One, when they repaired the time, I'm gonna say call it time watch, and Deadpool uses it to go back in time and fix some stuff. So when he did that to essentially save his wife, does that mean like his wife is like now alive? Like,
I don't. I think it's nothing more than a gag.
uh,
There's because here's the thing: is that scene saving his wife completely stops the rest of the movie.
I thought about it, and it wouldn't completely stop the movie because I think I would like to believe that if he saved his wife, that like the events of what happened afterwards would still happen. In a sense of like you'll still get the
You might be right. You might be totally
yeah.
right. I totally see where you're going. Sorry to interrupt, but I completely see where you're going. That the events with Russell, Cable, and
Mhm.
Domino had no bearing or effect on Vanessa's death.
Yeah.
But, and this is a big but, had she not died, Deadpool wouldn't have blown himself up and Colossus come and save or get him and take him to the X Mansion.
But
Thus, him not being a part of the team with Colossus and end up getting the inhibitor on his neck and going to prison where Cable was coming to kill Russell.
and I would counter that, and this is more like I would like to believe that, like if he saved his wife through time travel, that he would have seen the events that was happening with Colossus and the X-Men and doing their thing to the point.
And gone and helped Russell originally, and so
Yeah. So I want to believe that would have been the case, but we'll see in the next one, as far as like if that really is canon or not.
if another one gets made,
They just recently announced like Deadpool 3 is gonna happen.
maybe, but
I remember seeing that was like announced or whatever. I
well, the big problem is with this Fox
yeah
buyout
yeah,
is a huge problem. So
yeah,
that's why I say that. That's why I say that.
that's true. That's true.
Whoever buys out Fox and buys the rights to Deadpool, like they have to know the popularity of this movie. So
I hope if it happens to leave Deadpool alone in what they're doing, because it's been great for the past two.
yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say I love when he went back in time and just fixed all the timelines that he was in. Like I love like he goes back to the original X-Men movie where he was Deadpool for forgot what it's called, X-Men, not Origins. It was just
Well, it's Wolverine's It's Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, Wolverine Origins.
Or it's Origins Wolverine is what it's called. Sorry.
Yeah, and he went back and like killed himself in that scene. Just like just coming back, fixing timeline. Don't worry. So
let's go to Metacritic real quick. I'm just curious how it's doing. Not that it ultimately fucking matters.
By any chance, did you stay all the way through after all the credits, both credits were done?
No, but I also go to a website called aftercredits.com
Mm-hmm.
where people who see it before me submit, like they'll sit through all the credits and whatnot, and they submitted there was nothing after the credits.
Gotcha. Okay, because I sat through both credits, and like at the very last thing they showed before it just went completely black was like a statistic of like how many people worked on this film, and it was just like around like some thousands of people. Just like, this is my people that made this film. I was like, oh, cool, and then that was it. I was like, all right. It was a little odd, kind of throw that in at the very last part of it, but it's just like, oh, cool. I was expecting something else. It was like me and like 10 other people just like sitting there, and we're like, oh, okay. We all looked at each other. I was like, all right, cool.
I just found my favorite review of Deadpool 2. I will never see a Deadpool movie again. Too much joking. The cursing. It's a Marvel movie. It should be for kids.
No. This is
That's great.
This is Deadpool movie. This is Fox. This is R-rated as fuck.
Wow. Somebody's got a little high and mighty over here with their review. A sardonic derivative mess with self-destructive impulses. Howard the Duck had a better sense of humor. Bring on Solo, please, seriously.
Wow.
I love reading bad reviews for movies I enjoyed.
Wow.
This person wrote a fucking dissertation. I'm not reading that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm always like, ooh, a negative review that has spoilers in it? Let's read it. Oh, it's long. Never mind.
Yeah, I can't say anything else about the film. Like, I have, like, again, the only bad thing I could say is like, it felt slow at times, but even then, like, it wasn't too long. Like, it moved on pretty quickly. And
the reason I'm confused about you're saying it's slow is I felt the pacing was actually way faster than people were anticipating. So, like, faster than the first one.
Yeah, I would say so too. I think that times where I just like was not interested. I don't know why. I have to rewatch it again, just kind of know exactly. But yeah, no, it was good. Like I enjoyed it. I loved it, but it was more the same, which I enjoyed. I'm kind of curious if there is a third one. Like, if Cable, is he gonna stay because they fixed the time watch, or is he going to go back in the future? I'm kind of wondering when, like, I'm gonna assume he wants to stay because like Cable and Deadpool are a thing, so they're best buds.
I wouldn't say that.
Aren't they?
But they are. They're not friends. I mean, well, Deadpool likes Cable, but Cable finds Deadpool insufferable.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's just that a lot of the time Cable storylines revolve around Deadpool being there. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. It was cool. Yeah, I've nothing else to say about it. It was really good. Yeah, I would. It's 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, same here. I want to see it again. It was exactly what I wanted, exactly what I needed in a fucking movie right now.
Yeah.
It didn't take itself seriously. It not only didn't take itself seriously, but it continued to go in realms that I thought were very, like, sometimes it was campy humor, sometimes it was dark humor, sometimes it was direct in your face humor, sometimes it was grotesque humor, sometimes it was sophomoric humor, and it just ran the gamut of different types of comedy throughout the entire fucking movie. And as somebody who is a purveyor of good comedy, this hit every note for me. So
yeah, it was good. Speaking of comedy, remember that thing you were talking about on What's on Tap this past Thursday with Conan game and the whole dick thing?
Yeah.
I saw a clip from the same Twitch channel not too long ago because I was watching Max's stream last night, and they were talking about it, and they posted a link in the chat. I checked it out. Boy, that was hilarious. Like,
yeah, I do find it to be a bit derivative of. I'm surprised we didn't talk about it in the main podcast, actually. Of Steam to get rid of adult-only games.
Oh, that. So I really haven't been keeping up with that. I just saw that there were certain games that were banned, but then some were not, and that was by mistake. So what exactly is going on? Like, is Steam finally putting its foot down on certain type of games?
Yeah. You're not allowed to sell a game on Steam anymore. That is AO.
Really?
If it has sexual-based content in it, that is not that, like, the goal is to get sex, like Honey Pop.
Yeah.
Then they don't want it. They don't want it on their platform.
What made them wanting to enforce this now? Like, something must happen.
That hasn't been said. At least I haven't seen it being said. But it's
Hmm.
I don't I think it's bullshit. I really do. Um,
Hmm.
it's not like kids can go on the platform and buy games anyway.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
But
Huh.
um,
Hmm.
I find it to be in the same vein of like Twitch kind of forcing people to not be able to play Honey Pop on their stream. Like there's banned games.
Yeah. There is. There
God
is.
damn it, Xbox! I didn't tell you to turn on.
Mm.
It drives me nuts, dude. Like this, there's like a ghost inside my system that's just like, we're playing games now. That's right, you're playing games, and I don't care.
It's possessed.
It fucking is. It's annoying.
Okay. All right. I'm about to look into it more. I just heard about it and like it's not completely in the know of of what's going on with that.
It's just, yeah, it's just. I mean, the same shit you've heard. They're just finally doing something about it, and
Hmm.
instead of just saying it, they're doing it, and
Hmm.
I roll my eyes at it.
And then what they don't pick up is what other platforms may pick up, because like Steam will say no, we don't allow you, but then like say like GOG is like, hey, you want to sell your games on our platform? Go right ahead. So I
Yeah,
can see that happening.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what will happen. Um, and like YouTubers will play the games that streamers aren't allowed to, and they'll get some kind of thing off that. Like
Well,
again,
depends because like it has to be advertiser friendly. So
the big YouTubers that can afford to have a video that's not advertiser
oh
friendly,
yeah, cause yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like the penis game,
Yes.
the
Yes.
that game I've seen on many of these people's streams.
Yes. It is
Um,
hilarious.
yeah, yeah. It's just it's frustrating because I imagine I mean it's more frustrating for them than it is for us, but I imagine that it's just it's infuriating to have developed a game, worked on something for so long, and to hear that you can't sell it on like a specific platform because the platform distributor says no. Like that's really got to fucking be frustrating.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right, well I have to make Boom Boom, so we should probably end this.
All right. Well, that's a good indicator to end it. Yeah, thank you guys for at this point just listening to the podcast. I'm pretty sure nobody's in the chat, but
No, nobody's here. Nobody's here. They heard spoiler Deadpool, and the movie's been out for 2 days.
that is a
So,
good
or
point.
just technically three.
That is a good point. They may have just come in here and says like, oh, we're looking about Deadpool. I should not watch this, which is smart.
I think it's yeah fine in regards to like us discussing it and putting it up on YouTube. So.
Yeah, definitely. So for the listeners on the podcast, thank you for listening. Again, reminder: we will not have a show next weekend, or Thursday, for what's on tap because I'll be at Anime. We'll be back. We will be back the following week, as we get ready for E3, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. So, that being said, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time.